Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with the subsection of Unit 3, that is Strategic Human Resource Management. According to Anthony, strategy can be defined as the formulation of organizational missions, goals, and objectives, as well as the action plan for achievement that explicitly recognize the competition and the impact of outside environmental forces. The classical approach of strategy refers to the ability, capacity, and readiness of the management to make a long-term planning, to make decisions and actions to achieve the organizational goals effectively. Therefore, management can be seen as a field that deals with managerial decisions and actions to improve the long run performance of organization. According to them, strategic management incorporates first one is organizational identification. It refers to the identification of the purpose and mission of the organization that currently exists along with the goals and objectives that an organization strives to achieve with the shared values and culture. Second is environmental analysis. It refers to analyzing the internal as well as the external environment in which an organization operates. In assessment and analysis of internal and external influencing factors, an organization can identify its strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats prevailing in the business environment. Such an analysis is called SWOT, that is strength, S stand for strength, W stand for weakness, O stand for opportunity, T stands for threats. SWOT analysis it's called. Apart from SWOT analysis, PESTEL, that is also political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal, that is PESTEL. Analysis is the most used technique to analyze the macro environment of the organization. And third one is strategy formulation. This aims at the identification of the basis for the firm's competitive advantage. The strategy formulation is a complex and comprehensive step as it needs to flexible enough to incorporate a dynamic and uncertain businesses. Strategy implementation. This is to make organizational strategy meeting its desired objectives. Its implementation in an effective manner is crucial. The exploitation of resources effectively, optimum utilization of management system, and implementation of effective HR practices are required for the implementation of organizational strategies. And fifth one is strategy evaluation. It is an appropriate strategy is formulated and its effective implementation is made. It's an evaluation at regular interval of time is necessary to check whether the strategies are meeting their goal or not. Any deviation or variation in actual and desired result leads to corrective measure in some or all parts of strategies, formulation or implementation. All three levels of organization, corporate, business, and functional area involved in strategy formulation. The corporate level of an organization defines and develops a strategy for an entire organization. The managerial decision and actions for business units are defined in strategies formulated by the business level. To support the functions or operations of business units, policies, procedures, and practices are formulated under functional strategies. As HRM is one of the biggest functional area of an organization, therefore various HR decisions and strategy formulation are made at a functional level. According to Schulder, three fundamental HR philosophies guide and provide values for managing the people of the organization. These are accumulation, utilization, and facilitation. Whereas Armstrong identified four fundamental HR areas that define philosophies and policies in specific areas of HR. One is employee resourcing, that is planning, recruitment, selection, separation, talent management. Second is employee development, training, development, career performance management. Third one is employer reward, that is job evaluation, compensation, incentives, benefits, etc. Fourth one is employee relation, that is participation, involvement, communication, health, and safety. The understanding of strategic management in the above section would now help us to assimilate the concept of strategic human resource management. According to Snell, all those HR activities that support and direct towards organizational strategies are called strategic human resource management. Ascending on the same, Armstrong or Long also views it as an overall direction in which an organization would like to move to achieve its objectives through human resources. Many times, the concept like a strategic human resource management and human resource strategies are considered one and something, but they are not. HRM strategies refers to central philosophy, an idea to manage people of the organization by translating HR strategies into HR policies and practices that are in alignment with the overall organizational strategies. In other words, strategic human resource management is a theoretical framework within HR strategies are formulated that forms a roadmap for achieving organizational objectives. According to Shaw and Budwar and Ann Davis, strategic HRM is a process that links HRM policies and practices with the strategic objectives of the organization to improve performance. Theories of strategic HRM. In the field of strategic human resource management, two theories dominated in the academic world, namely the resource-based view of Barney and the integration approach. That is Barney's theory. According to Barney, that is on 1991, the human resource management influence performance that depends on the human capital, that is resources, held by the organization. Human capital is the vital resource of an organization that works for the organization and contributes towards organizational success. Though there are other vital resources held by an organization like technology, information, finance, etc. Yet human resources are the only area where an organization can achieve a competitive advantage. The three approaches that can include under resource based views are: first one is high performance management, second is high commitment management, third one is high involvement management. In high performance management, developing several interrelated human resource processes and their implementation collectively can enhance organizational performances. And high commitment management, organization performance can strongly be influenced and enhanced with a high level of mutual commitment and high level of trust. And high involvement management is communication with the employees, and their involvement in the organization process develops a sense of belongingness among them and the lead to high performance. And the integration approach, as the name suggests, it is an integration or link between the HRM strategies and performance. It works on the principle that HR policies and practices under HRM must be in alignment with the overall organizational strategies. And first one is horizontal integration. Under such a integration, an organization aims at developing and reinforcing interconnected HR practices with the view that their alignment would generate superior output. Underlying this assertion is the premise that there exists a set of HR best practice that fit together and mutually reinforce each other. In the horizontal integration, the emphasis is on the synergy between internal fit. The concept explaining that the combined performance of a set of HR policies and practices is greater than the some other performance. And the universalistic model of Delary and Doughty is based on the assumption that best HR practices are universally applicable. According to Osterman and Huslin, the universalistic theories that assumptions of this model. Okay, the author's name you can pronounce your own way, just make sure the spelling is correct. Okay, and the first one is relationship between HR practices and business is linear, and the second is best HR practices can be applied universally everywhere, and third one is the key to concept is internal fit. And next is vertical integration. The vertical integration aims at developing various HR practices that are beyond the area of HRM. The basic principle of this concept is that high performance can be maintained with the right match between business strategies and HR practices. Okay, according to Shoulder and Jackson, the assumption of this model are: first one, the relationship between HR practices and business performance is non-linear. And second is the impact of HR practices on performance varies with a different level of critical contingency variable. And third one is external fit is the key concept. Okay. And next is combined integration. As the name suggested, combined integration is a combination of internal and external fit. Under this approach, bundle of HR practices are incorporated depending on the context of the organization. A different combination of HR practices may lead to higher business performances. Okay, and the assumption of the configuration model are: the relationship between HR practices, configuration, and business performance is non-linear, and the HR practices with multiple configuration lead to maximal business performance, which is called equifinality. And the configuration is assumed to be ideal type that are theoretical constructs rather than empirically observable phenomena, and the key concept is internal as well as external fit. Okay, so next section is international human resource management. The Brewster stated that in the 20th century, the greatest challenge for both the public and private sector is to operate across the national boundaries. These challenges can be met with the good international HRM practices. The concept of international human resource management is about managing human resource across international boundaries. Not only the management of expatriate, but it is also about the management of people worldwide. Okay, the report by Welfare stated that Dr. Michael Dickman from the Cranfield School of Management believed that the major difference between national and international HR practices is the need to see the bigger picture. He pointed out that there is a difference in complexity level between the two and the level of sensitivity required towards a different culture and different business environment. Okay, and HRM in multinational enterprises. The process of procurement, allocation, effective utilization of human resource in multinational enterprises is called international human resource management. International human resource management is about managing human resource worldwide. The basic aim of international human resource management is to achieve the organizational objectives that are concerned with the global goals accomplishment. A few of the objectives that an organization strives to achieve through international human resource management. The first one is achieving competitive advantage in the global market, achieving efficiency, and third one is meeting demand of international market, and next is achieving flexibility and adaptability to be dynamic in a short period. Most of the human resource functions that are administered by human resource department of MNCs are performed keeping the social, cultural, legal, economic, political, and historical characteristics in mind. Okay, so there are some points: human resource planning, staffing, performance evaluation, performance and training and development, and compensation and benefit, health and safety, labor relation, etc. And the international HRM functions. First one is planning. Of course, planning is there for all level of HRM function. For the success and effective function of MNC, effective human resource planning is essential. However, the implementation of human resource planning is more complex and difficult than domestic HRM function. The planning function of HRM must be synchronization with the other HR function like staffing, appraisal, and the compensation system, etc. Okay, and next is staffing is there. It's a coordinate to control global operation. MNCs need to have a effective staffing function. Okay, and next is performance appraisal. The international organization work with diverse workforce representing varied culture. This culture can help in determining the nature and type of performance appraisal. And the next is compensation system. It's in local market of subsidiaries, wage legislation and regulation, labor union demand, and cultural preferences significantly influence or determine the compensation structure of an organization. And the last one is training. The international HR manager must develop such a training program that must fit the particular assignments and individual. The aspect that need to be considered for effective training program, that is business strategies, job recruitment, cultural similarities or differences, and communication with the local nationals. And some issues are there also, issues in international HRM. The first one is globalization, and the second is environmental impact, third one is cultural differences, and that's 3 points of main issues are facing the international HR. Okay, so in globalization, the process of integration of global economies and their market is called globalization. It refers to developing a single international market where goods and services, technology and capital can flow easily and lead to accelerate the world trade. Okay, and in environmental impact, an organization operating globally need to consider the managed business environment in which it is working. The difference in the environment in different countries impact business to great extent. The closed economy of China poses different environmental challenges than an open economy like India. And of course the cultural difference are there. The Hilltop identify a few HR areas that are affected by national culture, that is decision of what makes an effective manager, giving face-to-face feedback, and readiness to accept the international assignments, pay system, and different concept of social justice, approaches to organizational structuring, and strategic dynamics. Okay, and Hofstede perceived the organization as a culture bound. He identified 4 national cultural dimensions, namely uncertainty, avoidance, masculinity or femininity, power distance, and individualism and or collectivism. Hofstede concluded that the culture values within the national are similar to the values of individuals from different nations. And taking ahead, the researcher further Adler claimed that in the study of Hofstede, 50% of the difference between employees' attitude and behavior is found. This difference is due to national differences. On the other hand, Gerhard and Fang stated that only 2 to 4% was explained by the national differences. Okay, so that's about today's section, and the next section, that is HR analytics, we will discuss on next video onwards. Thank you so much. If you have any doubt, you can contact our contact number.